My name's Joe Pelletier. I'm in the history department here at Bangor High School, but I also serve as the speech and debate coach. Excuse me. And today we're interviewing two new members of our team. This is Sarah Marcotte and Victoria Brissett Rice. Both are sophomores here at Bangor High School, but both chose to join the speech and debate teams this year for the first time. And I just wanted to take an opportunity to talk to them a little bit about debate. So, Sarah, what kinds of things do we debate about at the tournaments?
Well, the next resolution for the Lincoln Douglas debaters is in the United States, private gun ownership or private handgun ownership ought to be banned.
And what kind of arguments might you take with a resolution like that? Have you thought about it yet?
We talked about it a little bit. Our coaches were, our LD captains were talking about some philosophies that we might use. The AF side would probably use a lot with preservation of life, that the AF side should argue that we should ban guns to preserve life of the American people, and then the neg site might try to use like liberty as their value.
And Victoria, what else have we debated this year?
Our resolution for November, December was jury nullification ought be used in the face of perceived injustice, and that is basically asking if juries should be allowed to nullify a law if they deem it unjust. And a lot of arguments that were used during this were justice and what is perceived as justice in the jury, and for both AF and neg, and then also anarchy and how allowing juries to use nullification can lead to inconsistent law application for negation. And so those are some kind of things that we've debated.
Yep. So both really allow you to kind of explore the American criminal justice system and philosophy, as well as some values.
Right.
We always talk about in Lincoln Douglas debate. So you, Sarah, you actually did speech last year a couple times, but
yeah,
you
I did it twice.
Came over to the debate side of things.
Well,
so what drew you to debate?
Well, the thing about debate is that I think it's really fun, and it's fun to think about the resolutions, and it's fun to debate because you have to think on your feet, and you have to think of a really good way to phrase what your thoughts are about what you're debating in a very short period of time. And what drew me away from speech is that you don't really have to show a lot of emotion when you read your debate cases, but they're kind of looking for emotion when you do speech, and I wasn't so great at that. So that's what I like about debate, is it's more about what you say, not how you say it.
And how about you, Victoria?
Well, I first started debate because the guidance counselor told me I should.
There you
and
go.
At first I thought, well, I'm not going to be very good at this, but then I started my rounds and I started practicing and writing cases, and I feel like it's really given me a sort of confidence that I didn't have before, and you start winning rounds and you feel really good about it, and also you get to explore things that you haven't, like things that maybe you've known before, like jury nullification. If you've never heard anything about that, you get to read about it, and you get to learn a lot of things and meet a lot of interesting people.
Yep. I should add, sort of as coach, since neither of them will brag about themselves, that both Sarah and Victoria, as well as a third debater on the team, have done very well, starting in the novice division, and at several tournaments going 4-0, in one tournament 5-0, and winning top awards. So all three of them have moved up to the JV division. So they're debating now, and did quite well at the last tournament of the JV division as well. They're debating, in some cases, debaters who have done this for 2 years and will move up to the varsity level next year. So both Sarah and Victoria are doing quite well this year, which is why I asked them to do this interview. So what happens at tournaments? How does it work as far as the typical day?
You wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
Don't tell them that.
And then you get on a bus, and you, we usually stop at Dunkin' Donuts and we get some breakfast on the way. And then you get to the school and you set your stuff up. We are usually in the cafeteria. And then you have a little bit of downtime before they start posting rounds. And
Rounds can take a long time to post, especially when speech.
They don't like stagger speech and debate. We have to wait for the speech people to finish, and they take significantly longer because they have so many people in their rounds that have to take time to do their things.
So, and typically at a tournament, how many rounds?
4.
4 rounds.
4 rounds, and then awards.
Right. And it's the awards particularly that we're often waiting for the speechies to finish at the end of the day. So if you were recruiting students for upcoming years, or even for this year, because we always say it's never too late to join the debate team, but what would you tell them? Why should they do speech and debate?
Well, I think that we have a lot of really great people on the team. So you meet a lot of new people who are really fun and interesting, and they have like good things to tell you, and you learn a lot. And it boosts your confidence to be around because you can't question yourself. You have to assert that what you're saying is correct, even if you don't believe that it is. So.
And to add to what Sarah was saying about interesting people, meeting interesting people, also the people that you debate in your rounds, if you talk to them afterwards, they can give you good advice, and they're also interesting people to meet. And as I stated before, learning just about the resolution and about like there's a lot of things that you can learn researching, trying to back up evidence for your claims in your cases, and learning about philosophy. And I'd say that it's just a really good learning experience for anyone.
Okay. I'll mention that at a typical tournament, they're made to take one side or the other on the topics that they mentioned. So regardless of their personal views on it, they have to be able to argue each side. It gets them to look at an issue from multiple sides and to argue. And what's really neat about coaching in Maine and seeing the students competing in Maine is that we get to know students from other schools. And although there's competition within the round and you want to win, when the round is over, they do spend a lot of time while we're waiting for speech team talking with each other and getting to know kids, not only on the team, but also from other schools. And there's a really neat camaraderie in the state that I see develop throughout the year. Such. Can either of you think of anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, our captains are really great this year. They're very helpful. I'm really proud of the team because I think that we're a good group. I think that we really try to help each other out as much as we can, and we really like each other. And so debate is fun because it's fun to debate people, but it's also fun because you have friends on the team.
Yeah. And sometimes they have to debate each other at tournaments. So
That's
happened
fun.
too. Anything else you can think of?
Going along with what Sarah said, we all get along really well, and I'd say that if we were like the last question, recruiting new kids, we all sort of welcome new people with open arms. We've kind of had some new coming in the last month, and yeah. It's also just a really interesting experience.